What's up, Tampa? This week on Tampa Talk, we've got everything from Pokémon to holiday markets.
And some local news, around housing trouble, and a new recovery farm taking root in the Bay.
Plus our first mayor's final days and why we've officially earned the crown of the worst holiday traffic in the United States.
Well, let's get into it.
All right, so what's up, Tampa? It is Friday, November 21st, and you're listening to Tampa Talk, your weekly download of local news, events, and a little dash of Tampa history.
I'm Dahlia.
And I'm John, and we're back together again this week. We missed you last week.
I was sick. Episode. Oh my God, that feels like a lifetime ago.
But it feels good. We got the holidays coming up, so what are we talking about today?
Well, I really wanted to hear a little bit about kind of the impact that we're already seeing at the drop. Because
that's been mayhem over there. Yeah, so for those of you, I mean, you guys have heard us talking about getting this place back opened up. It's a daytime drop-in center for the homeless. We opened on November 4th. We've been open Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. Now, last week, or when the cold snap was, maybe a week ago or whatever, we did open at 6 a.m. because that's when the shelters let out. So we were open a few extra hours, and we did open for a few hours Wednesday morning. And then on Friday mornings, we have a breakfast over there. But in just that short time, so what's it, just a couple, I guess right now it'd be like 3 weeks ish, open 2 days a week with a breakfast. So far, we have seen 550 visits from 145 unique individuals. So we've had a handful of people that we'll see pretty much every day or coming regularly. But 145 people have come through, and we've had 550 visits. And in that time, we've done 189 showers so far, which is just incredible. The showers are just cranking. And like, I don't know, you ever come in a hard day's work and you're super sweaty and you take a shower, it's like a resurrection. Yeah. It's like, in my mind, we've seen 189 like resurrections. It's just so cool to see folks kind of get in and clean up. And we've had 67 folks do their laundry. And so far so good. And I feel like word is just getting out.
No, it's pretty cool. I was actually at a WellFed demo yesterday, and a woman who was attending the demonstration, I started to share just some, like, we just kind of got chatting, and I was sharing, and we've actually just kind of starting to move into some new space. Hopefully we can get some ideas that we have for WellFed happening over there too. And she says, that's what the building Grace Point used to operate at. I'm so glad to hear that somebody's taking it over. Her sister or sister-in-law or whatever is unhoused and deals with mental health challenges. And she had utilized that service in the past. And she was really grateful that it was something that was going to be available again to the community. So, I stopped by the bike shop this week to just check in on the bike shop and have a little staff meeting. And they were like, hey, one of the earners this week, we were doing that. We were like, here's a little bit of things that go on throughout our ecosystem. He's like, I've been there all week. Yeah. Like, I've been hanging out over there. Yeah, and then apparently, unknowingly also connected to get an Earn-A-Bike program. And so just like... It's almost like a WellBuilt.city. Almost like a WellBuilt.city. I love it. Oh, well, let's get into some Tampa history. Back in 1856, Tampa's first ever mayor, Joseph Bradford Lancaster, passed away. He had been elected just months after Tampa reincorporated as a city and was leading during the early years of the Third Seminole War. When his health declined, Council President Darwin Branch stepped in as the acting mayor. Kind of wild to think how small Tampa was back then. Fewer than 1,000 residents, over half of whom were stationed at Fort Brooke. Yeah, and I think not long after that massive hurricane came through and basically wiped it out. It's like a reset button. Yeah. Well, let's move into some current news. So we're going to start with the national case. I actually remember reporting on this when it went to Florida's Supreme Court. But the U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear the case of Cambridge Christian School, a Tampa school that had been fighting since 2015 to be allowed to pray over a stadium loudspeaker before a state championship football game. For the last 10 years, they've been fighting to pray over the loudspeakers at the games. It's just... interesting to me. So that means the lower court ruling stands, which basically said that the loudspeaker is considered government speech. And the Florida High School Athletic Association was within its rights to deny the request. So the teams did still pray together. They're, of course, allowed to pray, just not over the PA system, which, okay. Yeah, I was kind of when I was reading this story thinking about that, because initially when I saw that they didn't rule it, I was like, I'm surprised because free speech means such a big thing. But then when they made that government speech, I was like, okay, I could kind of see that too, right? Like if you think about public school, well, I guess that's a private school though. So I think it's because of the games might not be being publicly facing or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't totally understand the context of it. Yeah, but I was interested that ruling didn't actually go the other way. But it made more sense to me when I thought about the PA system versus the praying privately. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how you like impose that on a public audience, like you said, against. Anyways, interesting stuff. I did double click a little bit because I was curious about how that kind of shaped up. But we talked about this at the Florida Supreme Court level.
I guess it has to be that it's in the school systems because there's a ton of sporting events where, like, I don't know. This counts as sports, but like, I'm like every NASCAR race ever, there's going to be like a couple different people pray, and like we'll have a Jewish prayer and a Christian prayer, and like there's a lot of sports that'll have like prayer and opening ceremonies and stuff like that.
Yeah, my thought process was like public school system, system.
It's got to be something. It is a private Christian school, so for them, like of course we pray at our things, but I think it's because they're games. Like
what I would imagine too. Anyways, I'm sure you could double click on it. Next, a troubling stat. So Tampa now leads the nation in home foreclosures. So in October, one in every 1,373 homes in our metro area received a foreclosure filing, which was the highest in the United States.
Gosh. Experts are pointing to wild housing boom that we've had here between 2020 and 2023, which I think we've all known. Many buyers who jumped in at peak prices are now discovering their homes are worth the same or less than what they paid, and retirees on fixed incomes are being hit especially hard.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me because prices did skyrocket there during those years. And you were like, what? This was $80,000 1 year ago. You're telling me it's $250 or inversely 200 homes became 500 homes?
I got into my house, and thank God I did. It was right before this. It was 2019. And it's easily doubled in price. Yeah.
And I think some of them will stay there, but a lot of them, I think.
Yeah, it's easily doubled.
Yeah. And to make matters worse, Tampa's also leading the country in canceled home sales, with 20% of contracts falling through in September, so recent.
That's crazy. Well, we've had some current tragedies in Ybor. We shared about one last week, but in tragic news out of Ybor, DJ Derek Sykes, also known as DJ Shy Guy, was shot and killed Friday night. He had worked at 7th and Grove for 6 years, DJ'd weddings all over Tampa and Lakeland, and even held a master's degree from FAMU.
So the incident was actually reported as a road rage dispute, and the shooter claimed self-defense and has not been charged. TPD is still investigating, though, and of course the community is mourning the loss.
So pivoting into something maybe a little more hopeful, friends of ours, partners of ours, Root Awakening Farm officially opened this week, a new nonprofit addiction recovery program that takes a different approach to the recovery process, healing through connection, community, and agriculture.
Yeah, so this organization, which we've talked a little bit about, is founded by Pastor George Wood and Dr. Amanda Sharp. I just even love the pairing of these two.
They're great.
And the farm is really trying to has these pillars of recovery, wellness, and agriculture. And they're trying to blend these practices of peer counseling, yoga, contrast therapy, so sauna, cold plunge, and then agriculture, right? Urban agriculture, and getting people hands in the soil work to really feel purposeful and give a whole person vision for recovery that kind of solves for this missing middle of care, which I really love to see.
It's been really cool, like walking this, and it's been such a short period of time. It was not that long ago. So I had met Dr. Amanda Sharp, years ago, vaguely remembered. I've known George Wood for a really, really long time. And then she moved back to town with this dream, with this idea. And I remember sitting down to breakfast with them and go, this is some stuff we're thinking about doing. I remember connecting them with you. And then that feels like yesterday.
It was actually a year ago.
It was like 1 year ago.
It was like a year and a half ago. We started
from concept, hey, what do you think? And they were like, we know you guys have done some agriculture stuff. Maybe you can work with us. We've done a lot of recovery work. And then to the party we went to this last week over there, which we forgot to let you guys know about on Tampa Talk last week. Forgive me for that. But it was incredible. It was an incredible time, and just what they've done on that property already. And now they're fully open and programming, and
it's gorgeous.
Cool to see them in the news this week.
And just to share too, the article was really well done, but also to share that while this is a space for recovery and people in recovery, it's also a space for community allies in recovery. And so the goal of the farm is really to be this alternative third space that promotes wellness, but that doesn't mean if you're not somebody in recovery that you can't be a part of it, right? So that community ally piece, because a lot of people dealing with behavioral health issues, it becomes a family
That's right. The community element is this is the path to recovery, right? Is connection.
Yeah.
It's like having that kind of social infrastructure in place.
No, it's beautiful.
So in other news, Tampa City's council is looking to regulate bicycles on pedestrian paths like the Riverwalk and Bayshore. The proposed ordinance would ban things like wheelies, tricks, and large groups, and would limit riders to riding two abreast.
So there's a proposed fine for $75 for the first offense, and then $450 if it's a repeated violation, and plus helmet requirements for riders under 60.
These are, by the way, not crazy laws. And if you've walked the Riverwalk and you've seen the kind of the wheelie kids coming through, it is wild and dangerous. I mean, they are having a great time, and I hate like poo-pooing on their fun, but like, it is dangerous. Yeah, it is extremely dangerous.
Go over to Flatwoods or something.
Yeah, it's like, exactly. Finally, it is official, guys. Tampa has been ranked the worst city for holiday traffic in the United States.
And I feel like we got to give some credit to that to snowbirds because, everybody coming down. But according to a report by Consumer Affairs, Tampa saw a 36% increase in congestion, the third highest rate of fatal crashes, which I'm not going to blame the snowbirds for that one. I think that's the Florida locals on the fatal crashes. But the second worst road rage stats in the country.
Which we literally just shared a story about, right? Like, it's like you take a wrong turn, you get shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So on average, Tampa drivers logged 27.6 miles per day during the holidays, with a huge spike at Christmas. So yeah, maybe do your shopping like early this year, or ride your bike or walk. I was
gonna say, wow, because apparently our bike ways are also pretty clogged up and dangerous.
Well, riding your bike on a Riverwalk is not a good place to ride your bike to begin with. Yeah, we hit the bike lanes or something like that.
But I always noticed, I actually don't notice it so bad during the holidays. For me, it's like the first of the year. The highways, the roads, they just like all the snowbirds who didn't come down for the actual until after the holidays just come in floods. And January, February to me is like the worst time to be on the road in Tampa.
Interesting. So what you remind me of has nothing to do with the road is January and February. It doesn't usually go till February, but I always think like for people that go to the gym year round, January is the worst because oh, what are y'all doing? You're not going to make it 3 weeks. Yeah, but like they just clog up all the machines. They don't know how to use them. It's like, come on, guys. Yeah. Move along. Let's get to February already. They'll be gone.
That's Florida. Well, this week's events, we've got PokéCon happening Friday through Sunday at the Embassy Suites USF. It's $25 for the day or $40 for all 3 days. So it's Pokemon tournaments all week long. Or a weekend long.
PokéCon.
Yes. And then we've got Markets for Makers taking place at the Florida State Fairgrounds. General admission is $8. VIP is $15. Kids get under 12 get in free. And it features 130 local makers doing their thing, selling their products.
So we just closed out County Fair, which is at the County Fairgrounds, but this one's actually at the State Fairgrounds.
Correct.
This is the proper fairgrounds, right?
And then Santa's Carnival at Tampa Bay Festival of Lights is taking place at the Hillsborough County Fairgrounds.
There we go.
From the 27th of November, so basically Thanksgiving, or the day after Thanksgiving, till December 28th. Mm-hmm. So you can basically do a holiday light spectacular, Santa's Village. It's all kind of like a drive-through, and then carnival rides and things like that.
Yeah, so they charge per car, right? So it's $30 a car. You can have up to 8 people in it. So
I always see this one off the road, driving out to Will's parents. And then we also want to highlight the Homegrown Hillsborough Conference taking place the 2nd through the 4th. There's going to be the conference itself happening on Wednesday from 9 to 5, and then a brunch at Meacham Urban Farms, as well as some field trips taking place. We're actually going to see, I'm really excited about this. We are getting a boat tour of the port and all the major food that comes in off the port, and kind of talking about
on the Thursday.
Okay,
I'm into the field trip. You gotta do I need a special ticket for that one?
No, if you've got so when you register for the conference, you have to add the add-on of field trips. Yeah, and it is limited. We only have 45 spots for the field trip.
I think you register me. We'll talk when we're done recording.
Yeah. But if you're interested in going to that conference, you can go to connect.homegrownhillsborough.com, where the link to the Eventbrite and everything to purchase tickets.
I really want to go on that port tour.
It should be really cool.
Yeah,
I'm really excited about it.
That's something I've always wanted, because I'm like, I know how much food is coming in and out of that place, and I'm like,
Yeah, let's think about it. And then we do have our ribbon cutting happening on Friday, December 12th over at Tampa General Hospital's Health Park to celebrate the grand opening of the Well-Fed Community Kitchen. If you want to RSVP to that event, check out Well-Fed's website, and we'll share the link there because I don't think we have yet. But
by the way, I personally got a little sneak peek with the food trucks. There's a little side event to kind of practice, and it was super cool to see this thing out and about and doing this thing. And you guys don't want to miss this ribbon cutting. And what else we got? I think also, like normal, we'll be at the Ybor Street Community Garden from 10 a.m. till noon. If you want to come get your hands dirty with us at the Ybor Street Community Garden, and then we'll have a crew out at Harvest Hope Park with the kinship, sharing groceries from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. So just stop by, say what's up, grab some groceries, get your hands in the soil. Come see us.
Well, that's what we're talking about this week, Tampa.
Yeah, so if you enjoy the show, please do leave a comment, rate the show, share the show. However, if you want to just send it to a friend, tampatalk.xyz will go directly to the link with the video on Spotify. And then if you go to wordonthestreets.xyz, you can subscribe to the newsletter, which will be in your inbox every Friday morning about 6 a.m. And it'll have a link directly to the show. So you kind of get it all with all the links and show notes right there. We love hearing from you guys. So please do that.
Well, we'll catch you next Friday. Same time, same place.
And until next time, y'all be good.